Conference, which is coming very soon, and we're going live with it on August 14th. So that's going to be super exciting. Tell us a bit about the coaching conference, but before we get into it, I want everyone to know there's only two ways to get into coaching conference. You either got to be part of the Real Estate Investment Network and you're a member there, or you're a subscriber and you're part of the RAIN channel. So that's why you have to get involved in our 48-hour free trial, super limited time opportunity. But that's the only two ways you're going to get into that, Patrick. You can't buy a ticket. You can't just show up. Very exclusive event. So tell us about the coaching conference.
Well, listen, the coaching conference is really there to support investors wherever they're at. So whether you're just starting out or whether you've already got an existing portfolio that you're trying to expand or increase profitability. So there's going to be a couple of different tracks that we're going to go down that really supports you getting started in real estate. If you're, don't own any real estate, or maybe you own one or two doors, but it's that continuation of growing that portfolio. And then we go into maybe that space, the next track, JG, where we're actually talking about how do we risk mitigate for future? How do we mitigate against tax consequences on exit? We're going to look at as well. What are we looking at? We're looking at tax consequences. We're looking at wills and estates. That's all about risk mitigation. We're looking at insurance issues and what we need to know when we get to that part of the portfolio as well. And then on top of that, we're doing some really cool stuff, which is working sessions. That means pen to paper. You're going to come in and you're going to actually go through a process, and you're going to have all sorts of choices of what those are going to be. But ultimately, they're working sessions that are going to be about 60 minutes long, where you're being facilitated and you're actually pen to paper or keyboard to screen, whatever it might be. But you're actually digging in and getting some details handled, getting some work done.
Yeah, well, that's the definitive word right there for the coaching conference: getting work done, or as like we like to say, getting shit done.
Yeah.
But here's the bottom line. The fact is that as investors, there's either two, and that's why we've separated the event into two different tracks. You're either on a growth track and you want to grow your portfolio and you want to find out how to raise capital, how to grow your portfolio, how to use really active income strategies and passive income strategies, but also how to use creative strategies like vendor takebacks, private funds, private financing, registered funds. How do you use those funds to grow your portfolio from 0 to 1, or 1 to 3, or 3 to 10 properties, and 10 to 100 properties? So that's the growth track. And then the portfolio management track is for those that say, listen, I don't necessarily want to grow my portfolio, but I want to manage it really, really well. I want to start planning for my exit. I want to start thinking about the tax consequences. I want to find out how to leave this portfolio to my legacy, but treat it in such a way that it's tax advantageous for the entire family. So there's a lot of different components to this event. And like you said, Patrick, not only do you get both those tracks, we're also going to be doing, we're going to be talking about the cycle, the real estate cycle, and where the cycle is right now. And we're going to cap it off with a ton of working session options. And Patrick, I think people are going to have like 10 or 12 different choices for working sessions, which is going to be incredibly impactful for people, because it's not about just learning here. It's about doing. It's not just about sitting in front of a computer and taking in information. It's actually about putting, like you said, pen to paper, putting the tool belt on and getting out there and getting stuff handled. And that's why the coaching conference is definitely the place to be. Only for RAIN channel subscribers and RAIN members. Very, very exclusive.
RAIN members are going to love it. and of course, it's going to be very interactive. So Q&A, lots of questions answered. Lots of digging deeper into specific topics through it all. I think there's a fundamental that many people are starting to realize that within this new environment that we're in, within the new kind of shift of whatever is becoming our reality, they're seeing and understanding that there's some great opportunities in the real estate world. And, on top of it all, JG, is more and more, it's not about growing a huge portfolio. It's actually many members now and many investors now who've had portfolios for a while. They're actually not increasing their portfolio. What they're doing is improving the profitability, the functionality, if you will, of their existing portfolio to make it work even better for them. And so these are all things that we're going to be talking about with at the coaching conference, and all topics that are, there's no topic that's not on the table really when it comes to growing a portfolio, but also taking your existing portfolio, making it more profitable, making it more effective.
Now, one of the things we talk about, Patrick, at the Rain Channel all the time, and that's why we're offering this 48-hour free trial for people, is right now is an incredible time to get into real estate. And people think that because we've had such a run up in prices, because things have gotten so expensive for some people in the home buyers market, that it's not a good time to get into real estate investments. It's people should be sitting on the sidelines. But in fact, there are three phenomenal reasons why now is the absolute best time to be considering your real estate future. And really, it comes down, Patrick, it comes down to inflation. It comes down to the interest rates. And that's a fleeting opportunity because they're not going to be this low forever. And also comes down to the cost of material, which is in some ways coming down, like lumber prices, but in other ways going up like crazy. As we're doing this Facebook Live and this video, I'm getting messages from my project coordinator saying the prices on vanities have doubled in the last couple weeks, and that's starting to work its way through the market, Patrick. That's what we talk about on Rain Channel, and that's why now is the best time to be involved in real estate.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and then on top of that, we got to add supply and demand to it. These are all conversations that we're having, in real time. There is some urgency for investors to make sure that they are taking action. The window of of interest rates being low, lots of anticipation of it being years down the road. But I think because of the inflation number, I think we may see some bump ups sooner than later, perhaps 2022, and they're already our Bank of Canada and our politicians are already posturing for that. So I think I don't think it's going to be a big jump necessarily. I mean, who knows? But ultimately, we see this window of opportunity that exists because of low interest rates for investors. Second to and part of what you just said, and I want to add, is the supply and demand issue. Now, it's not only supply and demand on the buy side, it's also supply and demand on the rental side. So we're already starting to see shortages in the rental housing market. And as investors, we're rental housing providers. Therein lies the opportunity for us to invest and be a provider and know that there's a strong market out there for the foreseeable future, given that supply isn't increasing dramatically, given that immigration and the borders have not even opened up yet, JG. So we see lots of opportunities for investors that are buying strategically, looking very closely at the region they're investing in, buying for positive cash flow. This is a time. So there is some urgency around it. And one of the reasons that we put the coaching conference together is that's one of the topics that will be covered in depth.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, folks, you have to be dialed into the conversation. Patrick, one of the things that's happening right now is the absolute confusion with the media, with the social media. There's so much confusion out there. And just you and I literally just did an episode of Real Estate News, which people can catch on Rain Channel. And we're talking about and this week, the media is chock full of headlines that their only purpose in life is to get eyeballs, and they're just about useless to investors. There's no good information in there, and it creates a ton of confusion. And we actually broke all of that down, and that episode is going to come live tomorrow, folks. So it's a good time for you to get that free trial for the Rain Channel. But that confusion, Patrick, is just really a challenge for a lot of investors. And the Real Estate Investment Network, as well as Rain Channel, is the place to get unconfused, to get unconfounded, so that people can move forward with velocity. Because at the end of the day, it's their financial future. It's their financial security. It's their financial certainty. And it is important. And you should not rely on headlines or the media for any advice around your financial future. I can promise you that.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, if you're finding yourself sitting on the sidelines today, I want, if you're watching this, and hopefully you are, and you're going to consider something that, imagine a year ago when you were sitting on the sidelines for whatever reason, because you were confused, because of pandemic, because of all of the uncertainty, and you're waiting to get in. And now, let's say 12 to 14 months later, 15 months later, price increases have been anywhere from, on the low end, 10 or 15% to as high as 60 and 70% increases in real estate prices. And so, here's the thing. Now people who were sitting on the sidelines a year ago, today they're sitting on the sidelines going, oh, now the market's too high, and don't sit on the sidelines and a year from now regret that you sat on the sidelines. At the end of the day, get the information, understand why and how markets are working. Don't buy into the mainstream media hype and confusion that's getting created, but really take command. Now is more important than ever to get a handle on your financial future, and real estate's a way to do it. And that's what this coaching conference, one of the things that this coaching conference is all about, is getting off the sidelines, taking action. And we're going to do that in various ways of supporting investors to keep moving forward.
For so many years, Patrick, you said it right. Investors always say, and just people in general, typically say, oh, I missed the last run. I should have got in before the last run. And you know what? That's most often true for people. Maybe you did miss the last run, but you know what? It doesn't mean you have to miss the next run. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And real estate investors have to look into the future of where real estate's going. You're like a surfer. You're sitting in the ocean waiting for the wave, and when the wave comes, you got to ride that wave. Now, if you miss that wave, yes, you missed that wave. You missed it forever. But the good news is there's another wave coming. But you'll never win in real estate unless you're in the ocean. So that's why it's important to get on the journey, Patrick.
You do. You got to get on the journey. And listen, now more than ever, especially with the Rain Channel, we talk about this a lot, even with what we've been doing in our virtual events. I mean, we're literally from shoreline to shoreline. We're having conversations and supporting investors and moving forward in their regions in one way or the other. Right now, there is no excuses to not understand that the education's there, the economic research is there, the support is there, the network is there. Gosh, everything that is needed is really at your fingertips. It's on your laptop, it's on your computer, whatever that might be, but it's virtually right in front of you.
At your fingertips in real time, Patrick. Absolutely. So, folks,
Yeah.
sign up for that free 48-hour trial, very limited time offer. And then once you sign up, then go get the Rain Channel app. Go to your app store, get the app, put it on your phone, your laptop, your computer, your TV, your Fire Stick, your Apple TV, your Android TV, wherever you are. The Rain Channel is now available. So get this free, a limited time offer, 48-hour free trial. Patrick, thanks so much for doing this, and look forward to seeing you at the coaching conference.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jay.